Hey guys, so it's been a week, I didn't have a Marvel video up this week. Sorry about that, but I figured let's just do I haven't watched one, so I'm not gonna that's what I think I want to save the Monday slot for, is whenever I watch a Marvel movie, and then anything else is the Friday slot is anything else. So if I don't have any Marvel movie, I'm not gonna upload on Monday, unless there's something else that I want to upload on a Monday that's unrelated. Then that'll be unaffected. But a normal stuck at home movies, that's the Friday slot. That's what I'm thinking. While I'm talking about uploads, I guess I should mention how this week is gonna go. You're gonna see this on Friday. You might get an extra video for Halloween. Or I might wait to upload this one until the week after Halloween. I don't know for sure yet. As I'm recording this, it is the Wednesday after the Suicide Squad upload. That was my most recent video, right? Right? But yeah, that's when I'm recording this. Just so you have a time frame so you understand what I'm saying. But yeah, so I don't think it'll probably be this and then maybe an extra video for Halloween. Don't get your hopes up. It's it's a maybe at this point. If I can get a review made and up, and I watch something Halloween related, then you're good to go. But aside from that, maybe some Mandalorian Season 2. That does come out on Friday as well, so it comes out in the morning, so maybe we'll go for an evening upload. Problem is, I work on weekends. I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it really comes down to whether or not I can actually wrangle my family, who also wants to watch The Mandalorian and would want me to wait for them. It's whether or not I can get them together to watch it in the morning, and then and then have a video filmed and uploaded by the end of the day before I even go into work. So it's, I do want to do individual reviews for each episode of Mandalorian Season 2, but we got to see what's in the cards. We just got to see how it goes. There's not I can't see the future. It's not like I'm doing this professionally because, well, the thing that's getting in the way is my actual job, So we'll go from there. But of course, and we got the notebook out again. What did I write on here? Okay, there's nothing on the other side. It's just the last thing I wrote on here coming through. But yeah, I think, I know I've just talked for 3 minutes about the future of the channel, unrelated stuff, but because I've been saying I want to shorten these videos, I think the best way to do that is just get a notebook, get my thoughts all on paper and then go from there. And I think that'll keep me from rambling, and because again, the problem here is that I'm spending a lot of time going back, and I don't have a way to edit the videos down and trim out a lot of the fat and extra content and shit, like me taking a sip of a water bottle non-comedically. We'll set that there. Good thing it has a cap on it. And I also didn't do my hair before doing this, so that's, if you're noticing that I'm messing with it a lot, that's just a me thing. That's not that's not for the camera. I do that anyway. But anyway, let's talk about Jojo. I want to say, this is, you read the title. This is part 3, part 2, the second half of the season. I don't know the official name. I'll put it in the title. I just know it's separate. It has a different intro. It has a different outro, and the naming scheme for the episodes is different, And I gotta say, if I had to rank Stardust Crusaders Part 2 against like Part 1 and the actual Part 1 and Part 2. This may be in the top spot. And I think that is 100% because of the last chunk of episodes. Because the first half is a lot of the same. The only like thing that happens that I really like is, or that's really worth talking about, is the introduction of Iggy, who, you know, the dog. He then is a character for the rest of the season. And, you know, he's... I really didn't like him at first. I thought he was really annoying. Which is like, it's a dog. It shouldn't be hard... It shouldn't be hard to make a dog likable, but I guess that's the point, is that he's kind of an asshole. And it's like, oh... And I felt like every time he was on screen, it's like, oh, fuck, not this jackass dog again. And then they'd pull some bullshit where it's like, oh, and he's... And what's Iggy doing? Like, it felt like a couple episodes it was like, how many times have I said like they'd get to all the actual characters would be off doing their own thing, and then one of them would be like, hey, where's Iggy? Like, he's fucking Perry the Platypus and he's got his own fucking subplot, and then he just walks in at the end because he wasn't doing anything because he's a dumbass dog, and the only reason he's there is because he has a stand, which he only uses in that first episode. And then I don't think Iggy's part of a fight or does anything with his stand the rest of the season, which is really annoying. Aside from that, there were some good episodes. I like Oingo and Boingo, and then Oingo and Whole Horse. The episode where the magnetism episode with Joseph and I'm blanking on his name. Avdol, duh. With Joseph and Avdol, that was funny. It's fun. Other than that, nothing special. A lot more of the same, which is fine. I mean, it's good. Again, just nothing to really write home about, like the first half of Part 3 is. After that, honestly, the big turning point is the pet shop episodes, which focus on Iggy. And at first I'm like, oh, brother. And then I'm like, okay, they're making me like Iggy. Why are they making me like Iggy? What's gonna happen? And I thought it was just... Now, I didn't have that foresight when I was actually first watching the episode. I'm just like, oh, this is nice. Good to know we get an Iggy episode, so I don't have to spend the rest of the time with this character thinking he's a jackass. It's like a sort of like a redemption arc type of thing. That's fine. I like that. I didn't realize that they were planning to fuck me over, to hurt me. Which, spoilers for the second half of Stardust Crusaders. Obviously. From here on out, I am spoiling the whole damn thing. But if you just want to know if it's good or not, yes, it's good. Yes, you should watch it. Yeah, Pet Shop Onward, some of the best stuff in the entire series so far. And I say so far because I haven't seen Part 4 or Part 5. I can't. And obviously I haven't read the manga at all, so maybe there's something in that that's really good. But honestly, this is the best stuff so far, It can get a lot better, it can get a lot worse. I don't know because I haven't watched it. I mean, the series is still going, so I'm going to assume it hasn't gotten worse, But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to use talking about the Darby episode, Darby the Player, which Darby the Gambler is actually also a pretty good episode. It's another fun one. Dark, but fun, Darby the Player it's the episode, if you have seen the show before and want to recap, it's the episode where they meet, like the first guy they meet in Dio's mansion, and he's like the butler, and he pulls Kakyoin, Jotaro, and Joseph into this like alternate world or whatever, and it's like, oh, you have to beat me in a video game or else I'll steal your souls. And that's one of those and they play like a very obvious parody of F-Zero, like right down to like it's called F Mega, I think. So it's the fact that it has the letter F in the game and in the name, and then it's about like racing, it's cars, and they don't call them, like in F-Zero, they don't call them cars, they call them machines. And you also there's the fact that you have to manage your, like the power, which is like kind of like your health. I've only played F-Zero X and the original F-Zero on Super Nintendo. So I'm not like an expert on the series by any means. So don't don't come at me like, oh, that's not how it works. Well, fuck off. The last time I played X was like 5 years ago, okay? Please don't hurt me. I'm just a boy. But anyway, though, yeah, it's a fun episode, you know, and I'm gonna use this as an excuse to talk about the memes of the show, because you know there's a lot of them, and if you've been on the internet as long as I have, it's hard to avoid people making WARUDO jokes and posting the clips of them going, no, 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 yes, 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 yeah, you know. Or even just, I saw once someone edited the clip of Jotaro just pressing the one button in the baseball game. But, it was edited so it was gameplay of Dissidia, which I've never actually played Dissidia. I'm just a fan of Final Fantasy. And even then, a very casual fan. I've only played, like, 7, the 7 remake, and 15. But, you know, it's stuff like that. Or even then, like, getting into, like, the later episodes, specifically the whole Dio fight, you know, there's the, oh, you're approaching me meme, and it's like, wow, and there's it's weird because I'm watching this for the first time. I know all of these as memes, but I don't know. So I'm watching these and it's like, yeah, that they're cool, fun, funny moments in themselves, in the context of the show. But then in addition to that, it's like, oh, there, he said it! He said the funny meme word! Oh! You know? There I am, Gary, there I am! And that's funny, you know, it's good. I don't know, it doesn't really hurt the series, you know, like it doesn't hurt it as a whole. I'm gonna get closer to the camera. I feel like I'm far away. It's just funny, you know. Moving on, after that, you know, good episode. After that, though, we go to the Vanilla Ice episodes. Which I want to say this because it's kind of weird. I've been watching the series on Netflix, so now I don't know where I'm going to watch it now that I'm at the end, because they only have up to the end of part 3. They don't have 4 or 5 on Netflix, so I'll have to figure out what to do. Now, the titles of the episodes, and they did this for the episodes with Oingo and Boingo, is the episode title will say Oingo and Boingo. You can hear the Japanese voice actors, because I am watching them with subtitles. You can hear them saying Oingo and Boingo, and then later on Vanilla Ice. But the subtitles change the names for some reason. They change Oingo and Boingo to Zenyatta and Mondada, and then they change Vanilla Ice to Cool Ice. And I'm assuming that it has to do with, like, they legally can't use the names of them, but I don't think, I'm pretty sure they're allowed to. That seems, And if you're afraid of getting sued by Vanilla Ice or whatever, why not go the extra step and change the title and at least change the title. If in Japanese it's still the same, then that's one thing, but it's like, why just change the subtitles? It's just weird to me. But other than that, I mean, there is something really funny about watching a show and seeing that the next episode is titled Miasma of the Void, Vanilla Ice. It's just a weird... I don't know why that makes me laugh. It's so stupid. Another thing that made me laugh a lot is part of why I ended up watching with subtitles instead of dubbed is because there's something funny about hearing Japanese people say English words. And when they're going through the names of the teams in the baseball game and the Darby the Player episodes, I fucking lost it. That was so funny. Not that I'm like, and I'm not making fun of anyone learning a different language. It's just, I don't know why, it's just so good, and I'm, again, not making fun of, not talking, I'm not laughing at them, it's just, he said a word funny, like, it's not, who gives a shit, But yeah, those Vanilla Ice episodes fucked me up, man. Because, and again, heavy spoilers here, so click off if you haven't watched it yet, or don't care and just love the sound of my voice. But Avdol fucking dies, and I'm like, I was shocked. I'm like, they did not just kill off Avdol, like, out of nowhere. No, he's fucking dead, and with no, like, warning, no fanfare to it. It's just like, and like Vanilla Ice's stand, which I later learned is called Cream, which Vanilla Ice Cream, you're funny. You think you're funny? You think you're funny? But his stand's power is just a fucking delete button. Like, it's just going into, like, Photoshop or whatever and setting your cursor to the erase tool and just, just fucking delete Avdol. And even he's like, I got no fucking clue where the black hole that my stand creates goes, but... Vanilla Ice go burr, I guess. And holy shit, that fight with Polnareff and Iggy versus him goes from really fun and good to gut-wrenching. Like the part when Iggy's getting the shit kicked out of him by Vanilla Ice. It's like, Jesus Christ. It's like, oh... That's why you made me care about the character. That's cool. It's bad, man. Not like in an offensive way. Like, I mean, if you have a problem with like violence towards animals and you really don't like watching stuff like that, I mean, that's your prerogative. I'm not gonna judge you for that. That's everyone has like different tolerance levels for different things. I'm not gonna talk down to you. No, definitely not. It's just like, at least for me, it's like, shit, dude. That again. Oh, so that's why you made me care about the character 2 episodes ago. Thanks. And you got to understand, I was not expecting that at all, because I was thinking, all right, well, we'll watch the 2 Darby episodes, and because it was later at night, I'm like, all right, we'll watch these and then go to bed. But they don't defeat Darby until halfway through the first Vanilla Ice episode. But at that point, it's like, well, I gotta know what happens with Vanilla Ice, so then I have to watch so instead of watching 2, I watched 5 episodes that night. And at the end, I'm just like, I'm going, I'm dead, I'm going, I can't, I'm done, I was not, it was a lot. That's all I'll say. Moving on, though, it's, again, it's a good, they're good episodes. They just fuck with me emotionally. Again, though, it's like, again, out of nowhere character deaths. And, it's like, I didn't even realize that. Because I thought what was going to happen was like, okay, well, Avdol will survive and he'll be fine and they'll go from there. And you're like, after they defeat him, they'll save him. Because that's like kind of the precedent that's been set with like, oh, after they defeated both Darbys, then they like free all of the souls of their victims and shit. No, he's gone. You like see him and Iggy like go to heaven, and it's like, shit, dude. Moving on, though, I think that's really all I got to say. It was, other than like that really hurt to watch, and then like Iggy saving, like Polnareff wanting to save Iggy, and then Iggy saving Polnareff, and then Polnareff surviving. That's a lot, you know. Yeah, I think let's move on to. I do want to mention the intro though, and I think now is a good time to do it because moving into the Dio episodes, they changed the intro. Really good. Honestly, might be my favorite intro song. I forget what the name of it is. Don't get me wrong, Sono Chino Sadame is awesome. Bloody Storm or Bloody Stream is also good. Forget the name. Stand Proud, also good. All three of them, or four now, are all awesome. Have to say though, this one might be my personal favorite. I like a lot of the symbolism. I like a lot of the emphasis on the team of the six of them: Jotaro, Joseph, Kakyoin, Avdol, Polnareff, and Iggy. And I was in a store the other day, and it pissed me off though because like I was seeing like shirts and merch and stuff for Jojo, because I'm like, well, you know, I'm really loving the show. Maybe I'll buy a T-shirt or something. It's all they only ever have like the whole team except for Joseph. It's like, why can't I have the fucking? And I think this was before I watched the Pet Shop episode, so it was before I actually liked Iggy. And it's like, fuck, I don't like the. Get rid of the fucking dog. Give me old man Joseph back, you know? But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's, you know, it's good. I don't care, you know? It's a good intro. I like a lot of the symbolism with like the clock towers and the gears and stuff and it's all like leading up to the fight against Dio and the world. And at this point in time, you don't even know, unless you're reading the manga or you're like, you know, unless you read the manga, if you're watching this and don't know what's gonna happen, you don't realize that it's like, oh, the reason why they have a bunch of clock shit is because Dio's stand can stop time. Unless you're like me, where it's like, ooh, I realize why. Oh, because I've been on the internet in the past 5 years. Oh, ooh. How cheeky of me, you know. But then, what again though? So let's get into the episode, because I want to explain my like viewership experience with this, because it changes subtly, and I was expecting, because. So we'll go into the first episode. Good, you know, that's their fight against Dio. Not a whole lot in the first episode that I can think of that is super significant. I think you do see like them. I think in the intro, Dio does like, because there's a part where you see a silhouette of him flash on the screen behind Jotaro, but it's just a silhouette of Dio. You don't actually see him. And I think they start by showing him. It's not just a silhouette. And it's like, ooh, he's here. It's finally happening. This is the finale. And the fight against him is cool. I like it. One of my favorite parts is Kakyoin and Joseph using their stands to like Spider-Man themselves around the city. That's really cool. I really like that. And then you get to the fight against him at Kakyoin and Dio's standoff, where he has all the ribbons all around him, and it's like, oh, if you touch them, then you'll die, and then he gets fucking, you know, like, I think they use, the sound effect they use isn't like the normal sound effect for WARUDO, I don't think. I think it's closer to the one they use for Vanilla Ice's stand. At least that was like how it seemed to me on my first viewing, I don't know. And him getting blown back. That's another, again, wasn't fucking expecting that. Because that's another clip that gets used a lot in like memes and shit. Was not expecting it. Because I think I had just like a couple days before seen that used in a meme. So then seeing it here, I was like, what? That's what this is from? It's from this Because I must have seen it and not realized, oh, that's Kakyoin. Or like, at the very least, oh, Kakyoin is actually gonna fucking die. Which, like, I should have known that because he just gave like a 2-minute monologue about how sad and lonely he was as a child. I should have known he was about to die. Still, though. And then his, like, last action is to convey the fact that WARUDO can stop time. Really cool. Moving on, then getting into the next couple episodes. Now, I was expecting, and I wanted to make sure I was watching the intro for the last couple episodes because I wanted to see the change to it, because I remembered them in part 2 changing the intro in the last episode so that it adds a bunch of sound effects and stuff. And it's like, that's neat. I want to see it, So I'm like, okay, well, I think it's the second to last episode. It looked like it was the number was the second to last episode that I looked up, not the final episode. And I'm like, all right, well, it's probably because this is when the final battle against Dio is. So I watch it, and then I realize, oh wait, there's no sound effects. What the fuck is going on? That's lame. And then I realize, and then it gets to the very end, and Dio stops time on Jotaro. And you actually see him walking across, like, behind him before taking the pose that he makes at the end when you normally see him behind Jotaro. And I was not because it was like, I was expecting something, and then I didn't get what I was expecting. So then that caused me to actually expect nothing. And I'm like, well, I'll just let it play since it's already playing. It's a good intro. I like watching it. And then I was, again, completely blown back, not expecting that. It's so good. Shit like that has to happen if you aren't expecting it, That's why stuff like that is so impactful. And then again, rest of the fight is pretty good. Honestly, I think the part where also in the intro, I loved, there's the realization of the scene where you see each of the characters silhouetted. It starts and it just goes through each of them, and it's first I think it's Avdol and Iggy chasing after Polnareff, then it's just a shot of Kakyoin with like all the ribbons around him, and then of Joseph's just sitting there, and then of Jotaro with a bunch of like spikes pointing at him. And again, watching that the entire season, you're like, okay, these are just neat stylistic things, Maybe I'm sure that if you had read the manga, you're like, oh, you already were like, oh, okay, I see what y'all are doing. But no, I mean, but I again haven't read the manga, only watching the show. Pretty neat. Moving into, and then realizing as they go from one by one, and then in the like last couple episodes, one of the changes they make to the intro is like adding the CG characters so you see them in that position for a second. And like when they show Joseph, you see the holes where Dio sucked his blood out, and they even have Dio there for like a split second. It's really good. I love shit like that. And then yeah, moving on to the last episode. Again, final battle, a lot of fun. I think these Jotaro slowly gaining the ability to also stop time, which I guess is... So is that just him moving? Because I was talking to a friend about it last night who has also seen the show, and it's like, okay, is that him being able to move so quickly, which is one of Star Platinum's powers, that he can move while time is stopped? Or was the power always that he could just stop? He was stopping time, and that's why he was moving so quickly. Because the way he explained it was that it was essentially, they ended up just, like in the end, Star Platinum and the world are just the same stand. Like they have the same power set, which was essentially what the world's powers is. I mean, aside from being able to stop time, he does get the power to, he does have like super strength, etc. Which is part of why he's so much of a threat. Because he like punches a clean hole through Kakyoin's gut. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. And I guess the reasoning is that they're two, like twin stands, because it is the Joestar bloodline, which is some fucking Kingdom Hearts shit if I've ever seen it. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and you don't want to play Kingdom Hearts because you think it's like whatever reasoning there is to not want to play Kingdom Hearts because it's like overcomplicated and like dumb campy bullshit, you're a fucking idiot. It is, JoJo and Kingdom Hearts are 1-to-1. You can like one more or whatever, but they are very fucking similar, which is probably why I latched onto the series like I did and love it as much as I do. Because Kingdom Hearts is my favorite anything, Melody of Memory in just over 2 weeks, baby! Which, expect a review for that. Probably just a similar one to this. Because again, I can't edit a video. Because I'm a bum. And I mean more specifically because I don't have a PC that I can download actually good editing software on. But whatever. Anyway. And because I'm broke, which is also part of that. So it is because I'm a bum, but not indirect. It's indirectly because I'm a bum. Anyway. Again, good show. Good final fight. Again, it's like small things that I wasn't a huge fan of. I wasn't a fan of how it feels like they spent too much time on certain things, like the scene where Jotaro is trying to pretend that he's dead and is like stopping his heart and stuff. That goes on for too long and it's not tense enough, and I think that shortening it would probably add to the tension of the scene. And then the very end of the fight, it's like, yeah, so they make their way over onto the bridge, and then Dio shows up with the steamroller, and Joseph or Jotaro. I keep fucking it up. Joestar, Joseph, and Jotaro. I keep mixing the three up and have to correct myself. But Jotaro's like fighting through it, fine, good, and then the scene where they're on top of it, and then he, like, the ending, like the final blow just being that he took out his leg, and then they do kind of punch each other, but it's like, with a fight scene like this, you need build up to that final blow, to that final hit, you know? You need to work your way towards the, like, finisher, you know? At least I prefer it that way. I think it's a lot better in anything, any movie, video game, TV show, whatever. You need to build up to the final, like, not just the final battle, but within the final battle, you have to build to that final hit. And it felt like they're just a few more, like one extra minute, you know? If they, or even like, if they took 30 seconds from the pretending to be dead part and put it over at the end and had like a final face-off of them, like maybe just punching each other, and then at the last second, Star Platinum is able to be the one to break through. If it was something like that, honestly, it might have been better. Still good either way. That's just what I think they could have done better. After that, you know, it's nice that we're able to bring Joseph back to life. Kind of bullshit. I mean, it makes sense since he puts his blood back and then Star Platinum is able to get his heart pumping again. But you see his soul move on to heaven. And it's like, you can debate what you think qualifies as being actually dead or like mostly dead if we're gonna make the Princess Bride joke. But, you know, you can, like, oh, well, you're dead when your heart stops beating, or when you're blah, 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 you know? You can, whatever your qualifier is. But I think the most concrete one is when your soul leaves your body and moves on to the next plane of existence, you know? I think that's, like, that's the final step. I think after that, it's a little weird if you come back, you know? But whatever, you know, it's fine. And I was really hoping, because I was thinking, because the whole reason why they're on the journey is to, and also I want to just point out the humor before I go off on that tangent. I think it's funny that to make sure that it's really Joseph, Jotaro asks him who Weird Al is. And there's, again, just something funny about that. So Weird Al he canonically exists in the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure universe, which is cool. Love that. The main thing is, again, alright, so the whole reason why they went on this quest was to save Jotaro's mom, Holly. Because Dio reawakening and manifesting a stand in the Joestar body, in Jonathan's body, like, caused stands to artificially manifest themselves in the rest of the Joestar bloodline. But the thing with the stand is that your spirit has to be strong enough to handle a stand. So, Joseph, fine. Jotaro, fine. Holly isn't fine. Her spirit isn't strong enough. So even though she has the Joestar blood in her, she can't handle a stand. So they're trying to defeat Dio so that the stand will disappear. But what I was thinking they were going to do, because they did bring back Joseph, what I thought was that Holly's stand was going to be able to, like, bring people back from the dead or something, and she'd be able to manifest it and then bring back Avdol and Iggy, and maybe also Kakyoin. Or at least Kakyoin, you know? So it's just kind of weird that it didn't happen like that, you know? It is what it is, though. I mean, I'm not, like... you know, bringing characters back from the dead does have a tendency to cheapen death when there's always the fact that they can just get brought back. So, you know, you want to do that sparingly, if at all, in your story. But again, it's like, all right, well, well, the dog doesn't get to survive. The high school kid doesn't get to... Not the dog, not the high schooler, not the one black character, but the old dude, he can cheat death. He gets to live. There's a little bit of humor in that. I mean, I don't know. It's a little funny. But I think that's it. I mean, really, the only other thing I could criticize is I'm not a huge fan of Dio's final design during, like, the last part of the fight. It looks a little weird. Also, Dio has, like, this Super Saiyan, like, Dragon Ball Z aura around himself the entire fight. And also his hair is yellow and stands up like the Super Saiyans in Dragon Ball. What the fuck is up with that? What's that about, guys? But yeah, I think that's really all I gotta say. Again, loved it. I know this is more a review of, like, the last 10 episodes than anything else, but those are the best ones and the most impactful ones, and also some of my favorite in the entire series. I really loved it. I have to say, this is one of my favorite things that I've watched for stuck at home movies. I'm really excited to see where the series goes. Again, we got part 4 and part 5, so I definitely got to watch those eventually. Oh, hi, Felix. Can you come on camera, please? But now that Felix is here, I think I'm going to take that as my time to go. Thanks for bearing with me and me messing with my hair the entire time because I didn't, like, put anything in it to do it up like I normally do. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about an anime series that I really like for just under 45 minutes now. I think I don't mind, you know, having long videos when they're about something that I really, really have a lot to say about, you know? I think it's kind of nice to have something to talk a lot about, but that's where I'm going to end it. Like I said at the beginning, might get a couple more videos this weekend. Maybe not something on Monday. We'll see, but look out for that. Definitely something involving The Mandalorian Season 2. I was planning on doing a Season 1 total review, but I don't think I'm going to get to that for a while. But definitely I want to review every episode individually, like as they're coming out, and then move on from that. Yes, I know I love you, Felix. Can you hear him purring? You probably can. But yeah, good night, guys. I'll see you whenever I'm talking about Season 2, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian, and maybe also in a possible Halloween video. But again, that's possible. Don't want to get your hopes up. But bye, guys. Happy Halloween. Peace out. If I could just turn off